This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule. He's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. When it's well executed, a wide receiver screen can often be a thing of beauty, but so many things have to go right in order to complete it. Blocking out in front, timing of the quarterback with the receiver, and oftentimes everything gets set. And guess what? They drop the football.
And able to complete it to Green Beckham. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Still first down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 13 yards on the pickup. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. Well, how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. But that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage, and they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time, but the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Big Stephen Paya there to get him down to the ground. Second down following the run.
All right, here we go.
On second down, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run it with Sproles. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jamie Collins in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Third down, 15 yards still needed. On third and long, it's Wentz. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And he connects with Ertz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, 26 yards. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire play.
Now a hit and a loose football. Here comes the Eagles defense. They work their way back onto the field. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll toss it to Crowell. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On second down, here's McCown. This is complete to Hawkins. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
McCown now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They'll get 16 yards there, and it'll give the Browns a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. McCown throwing on second. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wiley? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Crowell. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Isaiah Crowell, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are back within a score.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive.
Personal foul. Roughing a kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. We get a glance at the Browns defense as they file into position. They've had a couple passing touchdowns against them in this game, and that last drive they really got picked apart.
They've got to figure out how to tighten things up because no matter what they've done, whatever adjustments they've made, offense has been a step ahead of them. So they've got to figure it out. Usually, a sack of the quarterback can help change the momentum.
Maybe bring some pressure.
I think maybe a little bit of pressure would help them greatly.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Here we go. Check. Blue 90. Blue 90. 56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
10th carry now for Ryan Matthews. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Wentz to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Darrell Young, the fullback, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run with Crowell. Damn it. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A dime look defensively. Big play coming on 3rd and goal.
They can still blitz out of this look.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Likely the play of the game here. Trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Let's go! Green, 39!
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Leotis McKelvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
They begin the drive with Ryan Matthews. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Second down to the offense needing 5 yards.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big play there for Philly. 45 yards. And that run has to be so deflating for the defense. They needed the stop. That might put the icing on the cake.
Perfect word for it, because when an offense grinds a defense down and kind of takes the heart from them, and you see them start to sag, no better feeling.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Here we go. Green, 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Now Ryan Matthews on 3rd down. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. And partner, this first week.
Tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The made, well, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. Speakers so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. There's people here that I just met, but we're acting like we go back. It's 3 a.m., but we ain't done yet, trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young and there's still to race. We've got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age. We're too loud, we're too proud, we're too high to come back down. We don't think, we don't plan, we stay as long as we can. As long as we can. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age.
Left field, call it. Babe Ruth, ball it. Your boyfriend's got a cauliflower, and I'm a. So sue me. Who you, Judge Judy? Stacking the rubies. If life was a movie, then you could just call me the Goonies. You're not relevant. Trolling on the internet. No respect. Haven't moved out of your parents' basement yet. Big neck. Coming with the beat that's gonna break your neck.
You can hear me now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you like it loud, we can make it loud. Can you hold it down? 'Cause we can hold it down. Yeah, you can hear me now.